Hi there, everyone. Today I'm going to make a very classic tube fly. Well, at least a very classic pattern, but I'm going to do it on a tube fly. I'm going to make the Thunder and Lightning. This is going to be a Thunder and Lightning variant. This is not going to be completely as it's classically done, but I'm going to do this in a very functional, very fast, quick to tie and very efficient variant. So what I'm going to do first, as you can see here, is I'm going to apply a bit of tying thread. This is simply to have something that my super glue can latch onto when I'm going to apply the US tube I'm going to use in a second, because as with many of the tube flies I'm doing, I'm trying to cut as many corners as I can in order to make efficient flies that looks very good. So now I've had a bit of thread here to fill out the gap, the small gap there will inevitably will be inside the tubes. Like so, and then I'm gonna take a Futurefly. This is a Pro tube fly needle with a Futurefly tube on it, plastic tube, and then I'm gonna take a tube fly, a Pro Attitube here, and I'm gonna put this over the tube here. So then it sticks there. Then I have the black body, which is classic to the Thunder and Lightning, and I have the yellow butt, which is also important in this tube fly for the Thunder and Lightning. And what you probably can see is the butt here is very fluorescent, or responds very well to UV light. So well, that's a big issue for some people. I have a theory that it works, but it's not the UV that works, it's the fluorescent effect that works. But I have a completely different, I have a video regarding all of that. So what we're going to do is now, because we have this small bump here, it's an ideal place to put in our sonker wing. I'm going to do this Thunder and Lightning with a rabbit sonker. Made from Futurefly rabbit. So what I've done is I've cut a piece out of this, and then I have tapered this piece so it looks like this. So it has the right tapering I want it to. So it swims as good as possible. If you have any doubts on how to make a sonker wing like this from a piece of skin, just click in the corner here. You will see the link, and that is a direct link to a video where I explain exactly how that is done. So I'm going to cut. This was a bit too long, so I'm going to cut it a bit down, because I don't want this to be as big as it was before, like so. And because there is a small amount of leather here that I don't want, I'm gonna cut a bit of that leather off with my scissors. Hopefully it will show here. Just very carefully trimming the fur. I'm only cutting the leather part here. I'm not cutting, and that's the trick, not to cut through the skin. If you do that, then well, I'm sorry to say, your sonker wing will be ruined. This is simply just to make it even more lively. What I also always do is just simply to pull on your sonker wing to stretch it, to make it even more lively, make it even swim even better. So about there is where I want this fly, this wing, and I simply I do not cut it off on this one, because I want my wing to be as complete as possible. So like that, and really tightening down. Oh, and now my son and wife has come home, so I'm gonna finish this off another day. Well, so as I was saying, now what I've done is I've attached the sonker wing here. I've attached the sonker wing. Just gonna use a bit of saliva to actually keep everything in place, and then I'm just gonna cut some of the leftover materials off. I just need to adjust my lighting here. That's better. So I'm gonna cut the rest of the fur off here, just as close as possible. As closely as possible. The setup is a bit difficult for me, because it's difficult for me to actually see what I'm doing. Just keep some saliva here to keep the bunny in place like that. And well, next up, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some flesh, and this is some winged flesh, a nice and light material that is excellent. I use this for well most all of my salmon and sea trout flies. It's very easy to use, and it's shiny, but it's not that shiny. So I don't feel this spooks the fish in any way. I'm not gonna use a lot of this, just a couple of strands, and it's also very nice to take off again if you think you have added too much when you're standing on the riverbank. Like that. Like so. I'm gonna cut off the leftover here. And now what we need to do is we need to have 2 hackles, and then some jungle cock, and then actually this fly is done. We need some orange hackle first off, and secondly we need some blue Guinea fowl, I think it's called. I'm gonna use a grizzly variant, but this is also fluorescent orange, and I'm gonna use the grizzly because the grizzly looks nice on this pattern. So again, I'm gonna take the feather here. This is also a Futurefly feather. I'm gonna take the feather, and then I'm simply just gonna pull back here until I have an easy usable hackle, like so. I'm gonna tie this down around there, clamp down on it, and cut off. So I'm gonna turn this. As this is a relatively large fly, it's okay to have some hackle here. That's why I didn't strip off one of the sides. You could have done that, but I did not. You typically would do that if you're tying a low water fly or something like that. Gotta cut off the stuff I don't need, like that. I'm gonna hold everything in place, and just gonna make sure everything is where I want it to be, like so. There. And next up is the Guinea fowl. Good quality Guinea fowl is a bit difficult to come by. I have some in my shop. It's not the cheapest, but the quality is truly outstanding. All the feathers are really great markings, and the feather stem, the hackle stem, is thin, so it's actually possible to turn these hackles and use a lot of the feather. It doesn't get too thick or big too fast, which often happens with these hackles. So I'm gonna do this now. The Guinea fowl. Like so. Guinea fowl is a wonderful material. It simply looks very lovely on flies, and particularly on this on the Thunder and Lightning. I think the combination of orange and blue and the yellow butt combined with the black wing is just, it really is a spectacular combination, and probably one of the most beautiful ever, one of the most beautiful compositions ever made. I think I really enjoy this combination of colors. Not gonna use too much of this Guinea Kingfisher blue Guinea fowl, like this. Oh, and then finally, what I need is the jungle cock. And here you have a lot of different options. You can use the 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 real jungle cock, or you can simply add some of these um, pro fake jungle cock, which is by far the best jungle cock I've seen. That's not actually jungle cock. It comes in a package like this, so it's fairly easy to use, and they are really nice. It's just important to actually pull these out and make them a bit more pliant before applying them. But they look very nice in the water, and they're a bit easy to work with, and also they're very durable. So I'm gonna add one of those there, and as you can see, it looks very much like very much like the real deal. I'm just gonna close the window. My neighbors are talking. It looks very much like the real deal without actually being it. And well, now the fly is finished. What you could do is, if you wanted to, you could add a black cone head or something like that. I think actually I'm gonna do that for this fly. The cone heads is a nice option to simply, if you want your fly to stand a bit out. I'm actually gonna use a bit bigger. I'm gonna use a black disc for this one. To give it a bit more movement in the water, and also ensure that the fly really swims as I like it to. So a whip finish. I don't know what you're gonna say now, because I know what I just did. I forgot the other side. I forgot to put a jungle cock on the other side, but well, hey, that's just how it is. Add a bit of super glue, and then I'm gonna take this small one here and add, I think it's gonna be this. Oops, it's gonna be this one. But if you have a lot of different applications, small ones of this and that, of these types of things, you can simply just decide for yourself what you want. So there, a small cone, a small disc in front of this. And the final step is, of course, to take the fly out here of the vise, cut off the tube, close to, and then to simply take your lighter and just make it cringe back a bit. Make sure that the hole is still intact, like so. Expand that a bit, and as you can see, now I have what you could probably call a pirate, a pirate thunder and lightning, because it only has jungle cock on one side. But well, that happens in real life as well. So there you have it. Thunder and lightning, made very easy. Basically, this is just two hackles, so wing, some flash, and a jungle cock if you want it. But this really swims very wickedly in the water, because the tail here, the sunker strip, is very lively. And you get all the other advantages from the hook, from the tube flies. If your hook gets bent, or you hit a snag or something like that, then simply replace the hook, and your fly is still viable and still ready to go. So this was the Thunder and Lightning tube style. Thank you for tuning in.